Can you say this? Can you tell that to somebody else? How I am drawing or no? Okay, answer is correct. I mean, they are saying that no, you cannot say that. How much pressure I am applying for drawing this signature? I cannot convey it to somebody. Correct. You might be thinking that why I'm asking this question. When I talk in detail about digital signature, I will come back to this point. Please remember that. Okay, I'll come back to this point. So what happens is when you draw a signature, your signature is dependent on some secret, but that secret you will not be able to explain to somebody. You will not be able to transfer to somebody. Correct? You agree with me? Okay, how much pressure I'm applying? I'm not able to tell. I'm not able to explain even to my children also. I'll not be able to tell that. That is purely from my brain nerves. Okay, and my signature. I mean, so many times I'm doing that. Even I have developed the memory cells in my what is that muscle memory I have developed so that anywhere I can sign it easily. Okay, this is what is the hand signature. Now my next question. Please answer this question. Please answer this question. My next question is whether my signature is same for every document or is different for different documents. Is my signature same or different? Same. Okay, signature is same. Okay. Now, very important and very interesting aspect of signature we have entered into. Our signature is same. That means my hand signature is not dependent on the content. That means my signature is not created based on the content. That like content changes, my signature changes. It will not happen. Do you agree with me? Content changes, signature changes. Does it happen? No, it will not happen. Do you agree with me? Yes, you agree with me. Thank you very much. Now, my next question is, please answer this. When my signature is same for every content, let us say I'm signing leave application, my signature is same. Content of the leave application is different. As an officer, I'm signing an office order, my signature is same, even though the content is different. Now, please tell me whether this same signature is an advantage or a disadvantage. Is it an advantage or a disadvantage? Disadvantage. Someone is saying disadvantage and someone is saying advantage. Okay. What is the advantage? Advantage is identification. If I see contents are different, so their encryptions are different, signature remains at the same. Advantage is identification. Yes, I agree. I have not understood Kaushikji's point. Contents are different, so their encryptions. We are not talking about digital signature as of now. We'll get into digital signatures later. We are still talking about hand signature. Okay. So hand signature, advantage is identification. Means I can identify that this particular signature is done by my director, by my boss. He can easily identify that. Okay. Please remember that I am not simply in air asking these questions. I'll relate each and every question to the digital signature. Okay. Now, second point. What is a disadvantage? What is a disadvantage? I'll show you the disadvantage. Okay. Let me check whether I have this particular example. No, here it is not there. I'm just looking at the example. This one, this example. Now see here. This is what I'm trying to. I can't have same signatures for bank and for official purpose. No, sir. I mean, what you are talking about is, you might be talking about the initial signature and the full signature. Okay, initial signature and full, but every person will have the same signature only. Okay, so what basically is a hand signature on a document is a unique pattern. It is a unique pattern dependent on some secret known only to the signer. So this is my signature, for example, and this signature is based on some secret which only I know. Second, it is independent of the content. Now my question was whether this independence property of the content and signature Is it advantageous or disadvantageous? Someone said that it is advantageous because identity can be proven using the signature. Yes, I agree with you. Disadvantage. What is a disadvantage? Let us see this example. See here, let us say these are just junk characters only. I'll create a story on this particular example. Let us say I wrote a note to my director saying that I want to buy some 10 laptops. The amount, the price of that particular will go beyond 5 lakh rupees. So obviously I have to go for tender and all. Okay. So what my boss has done is he has looked at the project funds availability and under capital head whether I can buy this particular project or not. And after seeing all those things, he has said that no, this particular purchase cannot be made. So I will not approve this. Please see this particular thing. Not approved. Okay. So he's saying that not approved. That means my request for purchase of laptops is not approved. Now please see, his signature will be like this everywhere on every document. It will not change. And this signature he has done for this content, not approved. You just look at the cursor where I am moving. Now, second thing. What I have done is I was not happy with this. Anyhow, I wanted to buy that particular 5 or 10 laptops. Okay. So what I have done, when it has come to me, what I have done is I have simply made the change. Can you see this change? Here it is not approved. I have simply added a. I have not done any forgery in the signature. There is no forged signature. What I have done is I have taken the advantage of independence property of the content and the signature. So I have written it as not approved. Now when it is not approved, signature remains same. And this not approved, I have forwarded it to purchase department. Purchase department has initiated the procedure. They have identified the vendors, and then finally purchase order is to be signed by the director. Now what the director will do? Director will say that this particular note I have not approved. How come it is written as not approved? At that time, he will come to know my fraudulent activity. I'm not saying that I will run away with this manipulation or with this integrity breach. What I'm saying is integrity breach is identified at a later stage, not immediately at that particular point of time. This is what my claim is. So with the hand signature, these type of things are possible. So for example, if you see 6,000 is written, 6,000. Instead of 6,000, what I'm doing is here there is some space, some space left. And here, anyhow, after 0, any zeros can be added. So what I have done, I have utilized that space and wrote it as 60,000 and 60,000. And nothing happened to the signature. I have not made any changes to the signature. I have not modified the signature. Signature remains same. Okay. So this is where integrity can be breached using hand signature. This is the drawback of the second feature of the hand signature, that it is independent of the content of the message being signed. Okay. Do you have any questions here? Please ask me. If you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, I will proceed with the hand signature. Shall I proceed with the digital signature? Shall I proceed with the digital signature now? Please tell me. Yes. Okay. Now, after integrity attacks, I'm going to digital signature. Now, what is a digital signature? The digital signature of a message is a number. The hand signature of a message was a pattern. Please remember, I'm trying to compare that digital signature and hand signature together. The digital signature of a message is a number. The hand signature of a message is a pattern. Hand signature of a message is dependent on some secret. So digital signature is also dependent on some secret. Okay, some secret known only to the signer. Okay, it is only known to some secret known only to the signer. And second, it is dependent on the content. Here you are seeing the change. The digital signature is dependent on the content of the message being signed. So that means when the content of the document changes, digital signature also changes. Okay, digital signature also changes. Now, properties of the signature, it should be verifiable. When you are digitally signing, the receiving party should be able to verify that particular digital signature. it should provide authenticity, it should provide the data integrity and non-repudiation also. So that means out of CAIN properties, CAIN, confidentiality, authenticity, integrity, and non-repudiation, 3 properties you can achieve using digital signature alone. So authenticity, integrity, and non-repudiation, AIN, you can achieve directly using digital signature. Okay. Now, how the digital signature is created? How the digital signature is created? Now we are talking about asymmetric key cryptography. So asymmetric key cryptography has 2 keys. One is public key, second one is private. So the public key is known to everyone. The private key is known only to the owner. To digitally sign a document, an electronic document, the signer uses his or her private key. So what I'm going to use, I have to use the private key which is issued to me. So I have 2 keys. One is private, one is public. Because digital signature sign means something secret to me is to be used. That is why out of these 2 keys, public and private, which is the secret one? Secret one is private key. That is why private key is to be used for digitally signing the document. So what is basically digital signature? It is an encryption. It is locking of your document. Okay. Now for verifying the digital signature, the verifier uses the signer's public key. So when I digitally sign a document using my private key, I will send the digitally signed document to you and you will verify the signature. You will verify the signature. Now, how a private key and public key looks like, this is how it looks like. You please see on the screen. This is how a public key and a private key looks like. Both are different, but both are related to each other. Both are different, but at the same time, both are related to each other. Okay. So the public key and the private key will be given to a particular person. Okay. Now these are just numbers. These numbers no one can remember. Now those participants who have already told that they already use that particular digital certificate or DSC or dongle for e-office and all, you might not have seen your own public key and private key because it is kept in dongle. Okay, these are the numbers which you cannot remember easily. That is why these numbers are kept in an electronic document, electronic file. Like I am presenting my PPT, my content using a .ppt file. If I create a Word document, it will be a .doc file, .document file. Similarly, this public key and private key will be kept in an electronic document. And that electronic document will have extension. If only public key is kept, then that particular file is called as .crt file or .cer file. .crt or .cer file. I'll type it here for you to understand. Only public key, then you have .crt slash .cer file. Either you will have .crt or .cer file. Suppose public and private key is there, then you will have .p12 extension file or .pfx file. Okay, so the dongle that you are holding, if you look at the screen, the dongle that you are holding, this particular dongle will have 2 files, .crt file as well as .p12 file. This will be having. .crt file, why .crt file will have only public key? Because when I digitally sign a document, my document is logged using my private key, which is there in this particular file. And for you to unlock and you want to validate and verify my digital signature, you need my public key. So how should I give my public key? So public key is to be kept in a document. So that document file is .crt file. So when I digitally sign a document, along with my digitally signed document, a .crt file will also be received by the receiver. Okay, this is what is the concept. Public key and private key used in digital signature. Okay. Now, how the digital signature happen? So there is just a minute. So sorry, sorry for that disturbance. Now, what I'm doing is I'm showing you how to digitally sign a document. Okay. To digitally sign, first of all, I'll tell you the process, what happens in the background. Many of you who are already using these dongles may not be aware of how it happens. Okay. So let us know the process, then I'll show you the demo also. Then we'll go on to other topics of digital signature. Whenever you want to digitally sign a document, what happens is whatever content you give, you want to sign, that particular content, its hash is created. Hash you have already seen, its hash is created. The resultant value is called as message digest. This is the first step. There are two steps in signing a document. There are two steps in digitally signing a particular content. First is whatever input you are giving, the hash of that input is computed, which is called as message digest. This is the first step. Second step, you encrypt this message digest now. Encrypt this message digest. Encrypt this message digest with what key? You have to encrypt it with private key. So you will get the digital signature out of it. When you encrypt the message digest using private key, you get the digital signature. Okay. Now what you will do? You will affix the digital signature, append the digital signature to the document. And as I told you, when I send this digitally signed document, you want to verify, or your software would want to verify whether this particular signature is valid or not, for which I need to send you the public key also. So the present day implementations, the present day digital signature based softwares, they will attach the public key certificate.crt file also along with the document. This is what actually happens in digital signing. So your document is digitally signed. So what happens basically? There are two steps. I'm repeating it again. Okay. Whatever content you give, here we are giving a Word document content. Its hash is computed. Its hash is computed. Now, this hash is a message digest. This message digest is now logged, encrypted using the private key, which is there in your token, Okay. Now, this private key produces, the encryption of private key produces a digital signature. This digital signature is now affixed or appended to the document content. And another thing is public key is also appended. So now there are three items in your document. One item is your content of the document. Second is the digital signature of the document. Third is the public key of the signer. These three things. Now this particular digitally signed document will go to the receiver. Okay, here in a single snapshot, you can see this example. Sender takes a message or a document or whatever file and then hashes it. When it hashes it, the hash algorithm produces a message digest. Now this message digest is encrypted with the private key. Now when you encrypt it with the private key, you are producing a digital signature. This digital signature is affixed with the message. So it becomes the digitally signed message, digitally signed document. This is sent to the receiver. Okay. Now the receiver has received these three items: content, one document basically, that document is containing the content, the digital signature, and the public key certificate. Okay. Now what the receiving end system or application does, it first of all computes the hash of this particular document content. So it produces a message digest. And then this is the digital signature. What is this digital signature? It is an encrypted message digest. So this is to be decrypted. For decrypting, you have the key here, public key in the document itself. With the public key, they will decrypt it. You get the message digest. Now this message digest and the computed one, both are matched. If both are same, then that means that the document is not tampered. The document is not modified. Okay. Now let me take that example. Which example? Not approved and note approved, which I have taken the example of this particular approval of note during explaining handwritten signature. There, what he has done, not approved, he just added a E. So it became note approved. And when he added a E, nothing happened to the signature. Whereas here in digital signature, what happens is, let us say if Gabbar or someone uh, intercepts this particular document and wants to modify this document, let us say he puts a full stop at the end. Here, at the end of this particular message, if he puts a full stop, then the hash of this message, modified message with a full stop, will be different from the hash which is there in the digital signature. Now, these hashes will not match. If it does not match, immediately the softwares are developed in such a way that if the hashes does not match, immediately this digital signature will be removed from the document. The digital signature will be removed from the document. Okay. Now, if you have any questions, you ask me. I'll show you the demo later. You just tell me if you have any questions, please let me know. Or let me know, shall we continue, proceed further with a demo? Can anyone tell me any questions? Hope receiver knows encryption algorithm. Yes, receiver knows encryption algorithm. Basically, the encryption and decryption algorithm is RSA. Mostly used encryption algorithm is RSA only. Rivers, Shamir, and Edelman, which is a symmetric key encryption algorithm. If not RSA, the other people may use DSA, or people may use ECC also, elliptic curve cryptography also. But most widely used is RSA. Okay, Vipin Yadav sir, you have a query. Please ask the query. Okay. And Sudeep ji is asking what is class 1, class 2, and class 3 DSCs. I am coming to that point. I will surely cover that particular, answer to that question. One more question is, my digital signature digitally signs a PDF, and then if I insert a text box for a date, then it will invalidate the digital signature. Yes, it has to invalidate, because first of all, PDF, how can you modify? I don't know. If you are using a PDF editor for modification of a PDF document, then because you are adding a content, adding a new content to it, that is why it will invalidate the digital signature. That is what I gave you the example here. No, if you see here in this particular content, even if you try to add a full stop here, the message digest at the receiving end, the message digest will be different from the message digest which is logged inside this digital signature. Okay, these message digests will not match. Okay, so after signing, what will happen is your document is logged, sealed, you have signed. So once if you want to change after signing, then the changed content will not match the content which is there in the signature component. That is why it will invalidate. It says that signature is not valid because the content is modified. And in many of the implementations, they will delete the signature itself in many of the implementations. Okay. Do you have any other question? Yeah. Can a document be digitally signed twice? Yes. I will show you that one also. I'm showing you the demo. Yes, it can be digitally signed twice as well. Depending on if the document is not logged, which I'll show you. Any other question? Good questions you are asking. Any other question you have till this point? How an algorithm is agreed between sender and receiver? So actually the implementations that are there, like Adobe Acrobat, they will provide the support. They will provide the support for all the widely used algorithms. Let us say ECC, RSA. RSA is widely used, as I told you. So if you take the example of Microsoft Word, I'll show you that particular demo. So MS Word provides you support for ECC based digital signature as well as RSA based digital signature. Same case is Adobe also. So the public key that you are sending along with this signature, this public key certificate will say what kind of encryption algorithm was used. I'll show you that also in this. Is there any relation between public key and private key? Yes, there is a relation. And now my question to you, is there any relation between the two shoes that we wear? Yes, both are related to each other. One is for right leg, another one is for left leg. Both are related to each other, but both are not same. Related to each other, but both are not same. Similarly, public key and private key are mathematically related to each other based on the prime factors, prime number factors. If you get into much detail of the mathematical aspects of it, then prime numbers, large prime numbers are being used to generate the public key and private key. So mathematically, they both are related to each other, but at the same time, they both are different. One thing is, having a public key, I gave my public key because it is coming along with the document itself. So if you say that I am a mathematician and with your public key, I will extract or derive the private key out of it. So mathematically, it is not possible because that kind of complex mathematical computations are done in the algorithm. Okay. Any other questions, sir? Is there any other question? Okay. Shall I proceed further now? I'll show you the demo. Okay, thank you. I'll proceed with the demo. You can keep asking the questions in the chat box. I'll be happy for that. Okay. Now, the same content I want to sign. I hope that you are able to see the Word document, right? So I will use this particular example of. First, I'll show you the demo on Word document. Then I'll show you the demo on PDF document. Now, many of the questions were there, class 1, class 2 certificate and all. Everything in this demo only I will explain you. Don't worry. Okay. Now in MS Word, see here, this is an editable document. Okay, I'm able to write something new, right? So this is an editable document. First, I'm showing that one. Okay. First of all, let me save this document. I have to save this document somewhere on desktop. I will save demo, digital sign demo. Okay. Now what I'm doing, I have to digitally sign this document. Please follow a step-by-step procedure that I'm telling you. First, go to this menu option, and then you have one option called prepare. This is Microsoft 2007, I think. Okay. Go to prepare. Under prepare, if it is not in prepare, it will be under publish or something in different versions of MS Word. No need to panic. It will be there somewhere in the main menu only. Prepare. You have an option here called add a digital signature, which is saying ensure the integrity of the document by adding an invisible digital signature. This digital signature will not be visible to you. Okay. So add a digital signature. Let me click on that. Okay, this is just a Microsoft thing. So I click on OK, no problem. So here, purpose for signing this document, this is Microsoft Office only is asking. If I don't write also, no problem. Signing as Sanjay Adiwal, no, I am not Sanjay Adiwal, I am Misbahuddin. So, first of all, this is the dongle. This is the token that I have. Hope you are seeing the camera. So this particular token, I am now attaching for digitally signing. I'm inserting it. I've attached the document now. There's a token now. I'll go back, click on menu, see it has detected the token, right hand side if you can see. So now I'm going to prepare, add a digital signature. When I click on add a digital signature, here signing as Muhammad Misbahuddin, my name has come. Issued by eMudra Sub-CA for class 2 individual 2014. Someone has asked what is class 1, class 2 and class 3. I'll come back to that. What is eMudra and all? I'll come back to that later. Okay, first of all, let me sign. Okay, now before signing, please see here my cursor. You don't see any icon or symbol here. And there is no panel also here. Okay, there is no panel also here. Right, so I am first signing it. When I'm signing it, I clicked on sign. So what is happening is, it is saying creating the signature. Now, please remember the step-by-step process that happens in the digital signature. When I clicked on sign, this particular process started. Now, what happened in the background is the content, this particular content, only public key and private key, this one, whatever content you are seeing, this particular content, you follow my cursor only. This particular content hash is created. This particular content's hash is created. Okay. Now that particular hash has gone to that particular content hash has gone to the crypto token, inside the crypto token. Because where is my private key? My private key is inside the crypto token. Private key will never come out of the token. Please remember that. Private key will never come out of the token. So the hash of the content is pushed inside the token by Microsoft library. Okay. Now it is, what is digital signature? I showed you the computational process there. First is hash is computed. Second, that message digest, the resulting value of hash, the message digest is encrypted with the private key, logged with the private key. So my private key is required. For my private key, because it is my private key, it is protected with a PIN number. So it is asking me to enter the PIN number. So PIN or password, whatever you say. I am now entering the PIN number here. I've entered the password. So now what will happen when I click on login? So immediately the private key will get activated inside the token only. It will not come out of the token. Please remember, inside the token only, and there it will lock the message digest. Locking the message digest means encrypting the message digest. As soon as the message digest is encrypted, it becomes digital signature. Now the digital signature will come out of the token to this particular document and gets attached. Along with that, .crt file, I told you, public key file. Public key file will also get attached to this document. Now see here. You are not seeing any symbol here. Look at my cursor. You are not seeing any symbol here. You are not seeing any panel here. Okay. So click on login. Your signature has been successfully saved with this document. If the document is changed, your signature will become invalid. Okay. So now here you are seeing the symbol. The symbol was not there. When I move my cursor, it is giving a tip there saying that this document contains signature. And here it is saying valid signatures signed by Mohammad Misbahuddin. Okay. If you want to see signature details, you can see this signature detail. Okay. Now, can I modify this document? No, I cannot modify. I don't know whether you are able to listen to the noise of typing the keys. I'm typing, but nothing will go because it is already a logged document. Okay. Even if someone is very, very, very good and they have the editor, Microsoft editor, Word editor, and if they want to modify this content, what will happen is immediately you get an error message saying that you are trying to modify a digitally signed document. If you wish to continue, then your signature will be removed from the document. This is the message that you will get on Microsoft. Okay, so you will not be able to modify. And here, if you read here, this modification is not allowed because the selection is logged. It is clearly saying there. Okay, it is clearly saying here. If you look at my cursor. Okay. Now next is who has signed this document? This document is signed by Mohammad Misbahuddin. Signature details. Now signature details you see here. Signing as Mohammad Misbahuddin. And this is my public key certificate. Now in this public key certificate, this certificate is issued to me by who? eMudra sub CA class 2 individual. I want to see the details. I go to this one. I click on view. What I have done, I have clicked on view. So I go to this. Now here it is written. This certificate is intended for the following purposes. Protects emails, proves your identity to a remote computer, document signing, smart card login, whatever it may be. Okay. Issued to Mohammad Misbahuddin, issued by eMudra sub CA for class 2 individual 2014. 28th March 2019 I have taken, and 27th March 2022 it is valid. That means one more year it is valid. So 2 years have passed. This has a 3 years validity digital certificate that I have got. Okay. Now what is this digital certificate? I told you that the public key and private key which belongs to me, it is kept in electronic document. That electronic document, some third party should tell that this particular certificate belongs to this person. Who is that third party? That third party is a licensed certifying authority. Okay, those are called as, in technical terms, they are called as certifying authorities, or you can call it as licensed certifying authority. Now, who has given them the license? The license is being given by the Ministry of Electronics and IT organization called as CCA, Office of CCA, Office of Controller of Certifying Authorities, Government of India. So here you can see, this was general. I clicked on certification path. Muhammad Misbauddin got the certificate from eMudhra sub CA, which is an entity of eMudhra CA, and eMudhra CA is a license certificate of license CA of CCA India, Controller of Certifying Authorities. So at the root level, you have a CCA certificate. Okay, so we follow the hierarchical trust model. There are many trust models that are there in PKI, public key infrastructure. One trust model is called as hierarchical trust model. In that hierarchical trust model, at the root level, you have CCA certificate. Then intermediate level, you have eMudhra CA, eMudhra sub CA, and then at the user level, we are the users who gets this digital certificate. Okay. One question that has come here is, can I generate public and private key, pair and put in DSC? Yes. The owner of the public key, private key only has to create. CA will not create the public key, private key. Please remember that. Okay. As per Act also, it is to be created by the owner of the public key, owner of that particular certificate or owner of that dongle. Okay. So I'll get into that detail further when we talk about certificate issuance process. Now, who is this CA and how many CAs are there? Let us see that. Let me go to CCA website, cca.gov.in. If you see this particular website, you will come to know who all are licensed certifying authorities, who all are licensed CAs. Okay, so here you have the list, licensed CA. Click on this. I don't know why it is getting delayed. So around 15 certifying authorities we have in India. Here is a list on the CCA website itself. So these are all the licensed CAs, 15 CAs. SafeScript, IDRBT, Encode Solutions, eMudhra, CDAC. We are also CA, but we are e-sign issuers. We are not the issuers of dongle certificates. Capricorn, NSDL and all that. Okay, so 15 certifying authorities are there. Okay. Now, what kind of model that we follow? We follow the hierarchical trust model in India, as I told you. That as a user, I get the certificate from a licensed CA, and the licensed CA gets the license or the certificate from the CCA, Root Certifying Authority of India. So CCA runs an operation. This Office of Controller of Certifying Authorities runs an operation called as RCAI, Root Certifying Authority of India. So they run this particular operation under which they issue the certificate to licensed CAs, and licensed CAs issue the certificate to users. Now, what does it mean? This means that whatever digital certificate I have, this digital certificate is digitally signed by a CA. So when CA is digitally signed, that means CA has public key and private. So who has endorsed their public key and private key? That certificate is endorsed by Root Certifying Authority of India. Root Certifying Authority of India is this one. So Root Certifying Authority of India has digitally signed the certificate of CA. Now the question comes, that means CCA or RCAI also has the public key and the private key. If RCAI also has the public key and private key, then who has endorsed them? Who has given them the authority, or who has digitally signed their digital certificate? So RCAI is a self-signed authority. Please remember that. It's a self-signed authority. They will have the self-signed digital certificate. Okay, because they are at the top level, they are at the root level, so they are the self-signed CA. Someone has asked, is there any free issuing authority? Very interesting question. There is no free issuing authority right now. We don't have any free issuing authority. Okay, especially in India. And is there any agency issuing certificate in free of cost? Same question. No, no, there is no free certificate that you will get. Okay. Now, so here we have the licensees, the list of licensees and everything. Okay. It's taking some time. Meanwhile, we will also go to, I'm not let us say if I try to buy a certificate from eMudra or Encode Solutions for anyone. I'm not advertising anybody, but just I'm showing you. This is eMudra CA. So let me go to the eMudra CA website, emudra.com. Website's open. Okay. Now, if I want to buy a digital certificate, what is the process? Okay. I want to buy a digital certificate. What is the process? So click on buy certificate. When you click on buy certificate, there are different options that are available for you. User type, individual or organization. Okay. Now, coming back to my example, you have seen my certificate as individual. So I have purchased it from eMudra sub-CA. So what is this individual? What is the difference between this individual and organization? Individual is I have taken it for my personal use, then it is individual. Suppose if I am using it for performing official duties, then it will be organization. If I go for organization-based certificate, then I have to get a letter of authorization from my competent authority, who will issue a document saying that this particular digital certificate, which is going to be issued to this so-and-so person, to MISBA, will be utilized for official purposes. That is what is organization certificate. Okay, otherwise it is individual certificate. Now, certificate validity, you decide 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. I purchased it for 3 years. You can also get it for 2 years or 3 years. I don't know. The digital certificate DSCs that you have is for 2 years or 3 years. I don't know. Okay. Now, third thing is certificate type. Whether you want signature certificate or you want encryption certificate or you want both. Signature certificate provides you three properties out of 4: authenticity, integrity, and non-repudiation. Whereas encryption certificate will provide you the confidentiality property. Out of 4 properties, the first property, CANE, confidentiality, will be achieved using encryption certificate. So combinedly, if you have both, like here, third option, both, if you have both the certificates, then you will be able to achieve all the 4 properties: confidentiality, authenticity, integrity, and non-repudiation. But importantly, confidentiality will be achieved if the other party to whom you are sending the mail or message, or the receiving party, if they have the encryption certificate, then you will be able to achieve confidentiality. After selecting all these options, then you click on this buy certificate. Then one application form will come that, okay, they are asking me mobile number, and anyhow I have purchased, so I don't want to enter, because they will send a OTP to verify my mobile number and all that. Okay. Finally, once I give this, they will ask me my application form to fill up. So that particular application form will have email ID on all those details. Someone has, and I see my private key of DSC. No, I'm coming to that particular point. Sir. Okay. Now, I hope that this particular process you will follow. And then once you continue and make the payment, online payment you have to make. After making the payment, you will receive an empty token. So what you have to do? You attach your token, insert the token, and then you install whatever drivers are there for the token. And after installation of drivers, next is you need to call the call center for generating the key. They will help you through the process because they have some certain APIs with which your public key and private key will be created. And who is creating that? I am creating. I am the owner of the certificate, so I am creating. I got an empty token. The public key and the private key will be created by me only when I am holding the token. So token is in my control. My public key and private key will get created inside the token. And after the creation of the key, this is just the key, certificate is still not there. After creation of the keys, my public key along with my necessary information like my name, my email ID, my phone number, my organization name, all these required details will be sent from my token or from that particular website to CA, saying that I am saying that via public key and private key I have created. You please give me a digital certificate. That is what is. So that goes in the format of a, again, electronic document, which will have an extension called .csr, certificate signing request. Certificate signing request. When this particular document request goes to CA, CA will check whether this guy has made the payment or not, whether this guy has applied for class 1, class 2 or class 3 certificate. And based on the verification of a person, the class is decided. Now there was one question in chat box, what class of certificate we are using, whether class 1, class 2 or class 3 certificate. Please remember that these days class 1 certificates are not issued. We are being issued only class 2 and class 3 certificates. Still, I'll tell you the difference between class 1, class 2 and class 3 certificate. Now, class 1 certificate is the certificate which I apply online, and my email address is validated by sending the email validation link, and my phone number is validated by way of OTP. So if my phone and email ID is validated, I'll get a soft copy of the certificate, which is called a soft token. Okay, this is called as class 1 certificate, because classes are defined based on the way the person is verified. Okay, so my verification is done just with the email ID and phone number, but that is not the actual and real validation, because a person may have multiple phone numbers, a person may have multiple email IDs. So I can create an email ID in your name and then apply. So anything is possible. That is why the class 1 certificate is set to have the least assurance or guarantee in the court of law. It will have the least legal validity in the court of law. That is why these days they are not issuing the class 1 certificates. Okay, I'll come to the question later, sir, Manoj sir. Now, second thing, what is class 2 certificate? In class 2 certificate, I have to submit my identity and address proof documents. When I submit the address proof and identity proof documents, these will be validated by a department of CA called as Registration Authority, RA. They will validate that, and then they will issue me the digital certificate in the crypto token format, which you have seen, and you also might have that. Okay, so that is called as class 2 certificate. And class 3 certificate will be issued after submission of address proof, identity proof, and also personal validation or personal verification. Either I have to go to the RA, Registration Authority office, or the representative of RA or CA will come to my office or my place to validate me. But these days, due to Corona and all that, I mean, online validation is being done, a video call will be done, you will be asked to read out some questions which are shown on the screen and all that. Okay, so this is how the classes of the certificates are decided based on the verification. Please remember that the classes of certificate are not decided based on the designation of a person. If a person is joint director, you are giving class 2 certificate. If a person is higher up, senior director, then you are providing in the class 3 certificate. It is not like that. It is based on what type of verification is done and what is the requirement of a particular application. Let us say if you are using e-procurement application, then in many cases, e-procurement application requires class 3 certificate to be issued, whereas other applications may require class 2 certificate. So requirement of the application would be seen, not the post. A person who is in the e-procurement process may be an upper division clerk, may be a section officer, okay, getting the class 3 certificate, whereas the joint director level person not using e-procurement portal but another application may get a class 2 certificate. Depending on what type of application you are using, the class of certificate will be issued. Okay, but classes are decided based on how you are verified. Okay, now And now I was telling you the entire process of how the certificate will be issued. Okay. I submitted this application form, I got the crypto token, and then that crypto token I have inserted. I have generated my public key, private key with the help of the call center and as well as the API that is there. And then I got the digital certificate, public key certificate after my validation is done. Whether documentary proof validation or personal validation verification is done, I will get the digital certificate that gets downloaded inside my token. Okay, so my token is still there. My certificate is also there in the token. Okay, now the questions. I'll take up the questions now. Hope you have understood this. Okay, I'll take up the question after completing this particular example. Now you see here, there was one question. Can I see my private key of DSC? Okay, now let us go and search and I see details. Okay, and I'm seeing all the details here. Okay. Version number. What is this version number? Version 3. We follow X.509 version 3 digital certificate as per the international standards. X.509 version 3. Now you will have a serial number. This serial number is a unique number across all the CAs. This is a very unique number across all the CAs. This serial number is used every time whenever your digital certificate validation is required. There are two things. One is digital signature validation. We have already done the signature validation. See, you are saying here you can see valid signature, sorry. That means with valid signature means if the document is not modified, the signature is valid. The second question is whether the certificate was valid or not. Certificate in the sense, see, technology wise, if you have public key, private key, you can digitally sign. The second question that comes is whether the certificate that you have used is taken from a licensed CA or you have created your own certificate using various tools are there. XCA is software, XCA. So if you download that XCA software, you can do that entire PKI. You can generate your own root certificate. You can generate your own license, CA certificate, not license, sorry. You can create a CA certificate. You can create the user certificate, everything with the help of XCA tool. So now you have to check the validity of the certificate also. So there are two things, validity of the signature, validity of the certificate. So signature validity will be done by computing the hashes, message digest, if both are same, then valid signature is valid. But what about the certificate? Whether the certificate was valid or it was expired at the time of signing, whether the certificate was revoked or not, all those things, how they will be looked at. Now, when I sign this document, it will be seen this certificate was valid and I was signing. Okay, it is valid till 2022. That means he has used a valid certificate. Second validation, whether this certificate uses X.509 version 3 or not. Yes, it uses X.509 version 3 digital certificate. Okay. Third thing, digital signature of the issuer. Who is the issuer? Issuer is eMudhra. eMudhra, can you validate it? Yes, see here, the certificate is okay, it is saying. So that means automatically the software is validating this. All the certificates it is validating. That means the signature validation, everything of the certificate is also done here. Okay. Now, fourth point is trust. Whether you are getting the entire trust as okay or not. See here, this certificate status, okay. Mohammad Misbauddin, okay. eMudhra sub-CA, okay. eMudhra CA, okay. CCA India, okay. So there is no error message. There is no exclamation or red cross mark there. So that means all the certificates in this certificate chain is valid. All certificates are valid. So that also is done. Fifth one is CRL, certificate revocation list. What is this certificate revocation list? Certificate revocation list means whether this certificate was revoked or not. When will you revoke? Expiry is different, revocation is different. Expire, the certificate will get expired only after this time is reached. Whereas the certificate will be revoked before the time of expiry if I lost my certificate, if my keys are compromised, or if my organization feels that this guy is misusing the certificate, so they may ask the CEO to revoke my certificate. So what will happen in the revocation? When my certificate will be revoked, this serial number will be entered or inserted into the CRL, certificate revocation list. So once the serial number is inserted into certificate revocation list, the system will throw an error saying that this particular signature is created using a revoked certificate. So once it is revoked certificate, the signature will not be accepted. The certificate will not be accepted. Now serial number is this one. Now signature algorithm. Someone was asking how will you come to know what algorithm was used. Signature algorithm they have used is SHA-256 RSA. So SHA-256 is used as hash because I told you, digital signature has two steps. One is hashing. Second one is locking that hash, encrypting that hash. So hashing you are doing using SHA-256 and then encryption you are doing using RSA. Okay, signature hash algorithm. Who is the issuer? eMudhra. All these details are here. And valid from, valid to, the entire timestamp is there. Subject, Muhammad Misbahuddin. This is my certificate. This is my serial number. All those things are encoded because of the privacy issues. My phone number is also encoded here. Okay. Now next is, I am telling you that this is having public key and private key because you can see here, it is saying that you have a private key that corresponds to this certificate. A certificate that has a corresponding private key is also known as digital ID, digital identity. So this is a digital ID. It is saying that this particular certificate is having private key. There is a private key. The next question, can I see my private key? Answer to that is you can see your public key. You can see your public key. This is your public key. This is my public key. But in the fields, you will not find private key anywhere. You will not find private key anywhere. Okay. You will not find private key anywhere. Why you can't find? Now, please remember, I told you that at the time of hand signature, I asked you one question. Can I explain the secret behind my hand signing to somebody else? Can I reveal that secret to somebody else? No, I cannot reveal. I cannot explain how I sign. So that particular property also is implemented in digital signature. I have a private key which is used for digital signing. Can I, suppose if I am an untrusted person, here public key is shown. Can I copy this public key? Yes, you can copy. See, I am copying this now. After copying, I will be able to copy and paste it in the Word file or somewhere. I can copy. Here it is written also, copy to file. It is given also, copy to file. I can copy this entire, selecting this. I can copy this. So if a fraudulent person is there, what he can do, if you show him the private key, or then what he can do, he will be able to copy that private key also, public key and private key, and give it to somebody else. Okay, so this is a fraudulent activity. Okay, to avoid that fraudulent activity and to achieve that property of hand signature, wherein the signer will not be able to reveal what is the secret behind his signing, the same thing here. Even though this certificate document is having a private key, I'm not able to see. The owner also cannot see the private key. This is what is the answer to that. Now, one more question. I hope that this particular thing is clear to you. Can the owner who is digitally signed do some editing on the document, same document further, if desired, and how? No, I cannot. That is what I'm doing. See, I'm trying to type. I'm typing, you read this message. Look at my cursor. This modification is not allowed because the selection is locked. You cannot sign. Okay. You cannot modify, you cannot modify or edit. In MS Word, older versions, there is one option called Edit Anyway. If you go to that option and try to click on that option, you'll immediately get an error. You have not yet edited. You just clicked on option of Edit Anyway. So it gives an error message, alert message saying that editing will remove the digital signature. Do you wish to continue? Okay. And if you say yes, your signature will be removed. Okay. This is what is digital signing of a Word document. Now, I'll go to PDF document. Meanwhile, if you have any questions related to this, you can ask me. Test, I don't know what is this document. Let me open this. Okay, it's already a digitally signed document. So rather, I will better not use it. Meanwhile, you please type what a CSR contains. CSR, certificate signing request, contains the public key of the user and the necessary information which is to be put in a digital certificate in .crd file. Because .crd file is created by CA. Public key I am creating, public key, private key I am creating, owner is creating, but that public key I am sending because he has to endorse and send me back. So that public key when I send, along with that public key, what is the other information that is required? So all that information goes in a CSR file, certificate signing request file. Let me get one more PDF file, please. Okay. In session. Okay. Any Word document I have? Okay, demo of digital signing. This Word document I'll better convert it to PDF first. I'm converting and saving it in desktop. Demo digital sign. The PDF document I'm saving. Now see here. This is the PDF document which I want to sign now. This is the PDF document. Now this PDF document I want to digitally sign. Go. Thank you. So now go to tools in Adobe Acrobat. If you want to digitally sign, go to tools. You have one sign option here, fill and sign. This is not the digital signature. This is Adobe's own some feature of signing, but that is not digital signing. Please remember, you have to go to certificates. Okay, again, this is my document. Go to tools and click on certificates. On this certificates, you got an option called digitally sign. Now, digitally sign, when you click on this, he has his own way of implementing it. So it says that you identify the place and draw a rectangle. So I'll draw a rectangle here below. Bigger, smaller, whatever you want to draw it. Now it is saying so many certificates are there on my system. This is issued by eMudhra. This is Script Tool. Script Tool, I was in the previous session, I was showing the demo. Using that also, you can create a certificate. And this Sanjay Diwal certificate is created using XCA software. So I'm not interested. I'm interested in my own certificate. I've selected this and click on continue. Now, someone had asked one question, can we have multiple signing? Okay. Yes, you can have multiple signing, provided you don't log this document. The last person who is the final authority or who is the final signing authority should log this particular document. I'm not logging right now. So click on sign. It is saying that this is the way that your digital signature will appear on the document. Okay. Now, because it has become a new document now, content is not the same now. See, earlier the content is this one was the content. Now the content of the document is not only that text, it has got the digital signature as well as it has got the public key certificate also. So the Adobe Acrobat has become a modified document now with the digital. So I'll write same thing. So it is saying you want to replace it? Yes. So now it will ask me the password because now the contents hash is computed and sent to the crypto token. Now in the crypto token, the private key is to be activated. That will get activated if I enter the password. So I've entered the password. Now once I click on login, the encryption of the hash value of this PDF document will be computed inside the token. And the digital signature along with the public key certificate.cer or .crd file will come out and get affixed here. See here. Done. My signature is done. And if I want to validate this signature, just click on this. It is saying signature is valid, signed by Mohammad Misbahuddin. The document has not been modified since the signature was applied. If you want to see further details, signature properties, go to signer certificate, who has issued, eMudhra issued, certifying authority and all that stuff. Details also you can see, like earlier we have seen. So here also you will not be able to see the private key. See here, private key is written. Can you see the details? No, you cannot see the details. Okay, it is there in the crypto token. That is what it's saying. ePass is my crypto token. You cannot see. The public key you can see. Public key you can see. Okay. So this is how the digital signing is done. Now, if you want to do another signature, can I do? Was the question. Yes. Let me try. I'm trying above now. Okay. Now I'm locking the document. Let us see whether I can do the signature. Second time, again, I am saving the document with the same name. So two signatures are there. Two signatures. Yes, you can do multiple signatures. Now can I sign? No, it is disabled. Digitally sign is disabled now because I have locked the document. I have locked the document. Validate all signatures. Are you sure you want to validate all the signatures? Yes. It is saying completed validating all signatures. So signatures are valid. Okay. This is what is digital signature technology. Do you have any questions related to this one? We have 5 to 7 minutes. If you have any questions, please ask. Any questions, sir? Okay, what if the token is lost? If the token is lost, immediately you have to notify or inform the CA, certifying authority. It is something like I always say, it is something like losing a signed blank check. What you will do? Immediately you will call up the bank and then ask them to invalidate that particular entire series of checks. Okay. So the same thing, you have to ask the CA to revoke your certificate, they'll revoke the certificate. Now one question came, can two users have same key pair? No, not really. Uh, it is not possible, but still, this question comes. If the same key pair is there, then what will happen? No problem. If same key pair is there, your digital certificate is different. Digital certificate is like a birth certificate. Two kids from two different families born at the same date, same time, their certificates are different. Okay. Similarly, a public key and private key certificate will be different. Within a same CA, two public key, private key getting, the same public key, private key is, I think, highly impossible. Okay. Now, next question is, sometime we have problem regarding validity of signature. What kind of problem? If you can elaborate, I will be able to reply back. Okay. So next is, what is DigiLocker? Does it has any relation with digital signature? No, sir. Digital signature is a technology for digitally signing the document and validating the signature. Okay. So like hand signature. What is DigiLocker? DigiLocker is a repository. They are calling it as private space on a public cloud. So it's a cloud-based technology wherein you can upload your own documents and keep it there. And apart from that, you can get the documents issued from the respective departments into your repository. Everyone will be given a repository of some, I'm not remembering, I don't know how much space is being given to everybody. I don't know whether 1 GB or 100 MB, I don't know. So in that one, let us say the LPG connection document, if I want to download, so I just go to that LPG connection ministry and then I'll enter the details, consumer number, whatever ID is there. Then I'll get a digitally signed XML signature. They do a digitally signed document I can download in my own repository. And CBSC marks cards, your license, your registration certificate, RC of your vehicles, all those things. There are many departments, government departments that are coming up there in DigiLocker. So DigiLocker is different. It's a repository. In DigiLocker, the documents that are issued by the departments are digitally signed documents. Simply, hand signature is in physical world, digital signature is in electronic world. That's it. So DigiLocker is a repository. One dabba is there wherein you are keeping all your documents. And whichever department is issuing you the document, you are keeping it in a file. That is what is file or a folder. That is what is DigiLocker. Okay. Any other question? If you have, you please ask me. Anything else? Okay, so if you don't have any question, is there any incident of hacking DSC? Some question, new question has come. Uh, DSC, very good question you have asked. DSCs are called as tamper-resistant devices. These are tamper-resistant devices. What do you mean by tamper-resistant device? Tamper-resistant device means people cannot hack into it and get the private key out of that. Okay, so it follows FIPS 140-2 international standard. Okay, FIPS-2 means Federal Information Processing Standards. So Federal Information Processing Standard 140-2 is the serial number, is the number which is actually implemented here. Okay. Any other question? Okay, shall we wind up now? If you don't have any question. One more question has come up here. In the morning session, Cisco President was referred. Morning session, I don't know. Morning session, he was not there. Cisco President quote was referred. What quote is also referred? I don't know. Please, can you just elaborate that one? Okay. If you don't have further questions, shall we wind up now? Yeah, someone is having a question. You please ask the question now. Otherwise, we'll wind up. One question, Himraj Meenaji, want to ask, please ask. What is the question? During signing documents through e-office, we can't validate documents. Why is it so? You can validate, no? That should be the feature given by e-office itself. During signing documents through e-office, we can't validate the documents. Validate the documents means what? Validate documents or validate the signature? During signing the documents through e-office, we can't validate the documents. I'm not still getting clear picture of this particular question. While signing the document, validate the signature. Okay, we can't validate the signature. Okay, that property actually should be there in PDF. In PDF, you just click on that particular signature. So suppose if it is giving some error or exclamation mark, what you have to do is you have to go into the, I'll show you. I'll just share the screen again. I'll show you. Just see this particular Word document. See here, when I click on this, if you are getting any error, then you go here, signature properties, and go to the show signer certificate, and then you go to trust. In trust, you click on add to trusted certificates. Sometimes if the certificate is not, the digital certificate of that signer, if it is not installed or included in the repository of Adobe Acrobat, because Adobe Acrobat maintains its own repository of certificates. So if it is not there, then that particular error you will get. Okay, otherwise there won't be any error. Add to trusted certificates you do, and then you will be able to see the certificate. Okay, you will be able to trust that, do the validation of the certificate. That is what is. Okay, any other question you have? Okay, looks like no other questions. So thank you very much for patiently listening to this particular session. Anyhow, if you have any other queries related to this particular topic, I'm typing my email ID. You can note it down and you can send a mail to me. Okay, misbah@cdac.in. I work with CDAC. I'm working in CDAC Arts Division as a joint director. So thank you very much, all the participants. Pravesh, I think Pravesh, I can exit now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You can close the thing. I request Pravesh to
Okay,
stop
thank
the
you.
recording because it is recording even after the session also.
Okay, Pravesh, stop the recording. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you, Naresh, also for supporting this.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, sir.